I think we are live, right?
1 second.
I think we are live, right?
Not now. Gagan, I think we should be starting now.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to.
Good morning.
I will request all to mute yourself. One second.
Yeah, please start, Gagan. Are you there?
Okay. Yes. So we welcome you all for this webinar. I am from Indian Society of Sports and Medicine, Treasurer of Indian Society of Sports Medicine, Dr. Gagan Kumar Banode. And I am here welcoming Dr. Dane Vishnubala from UK for this webinar on sports medicine training program and curriculum development in the United Kingdom. He is a Professor Dr. Dane Vishnubala, Professor and Consultant of Sports and Exercise Medicine, University of Leeds, Clinical Lead for MSc in Sports and Exercise Medicine, and Non-Executive Director and Charity Trustee. So I welcome you, Dr. Dane. Please go ahead with your presentation, sir. And we will be followed by our MoU, Association. Go ahead, sir, please.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me, and it's really nice to see you all. So I'm delighted to join you for your session today, which I think is your MoU between your two organisations, which sounds very exciting. And I'm here to present to you about our UK Sport and Exercise Medicine training programme and what we are doing here. And I hope this is the start of many conversations between our three organisations as well. So my name's Dane Vishnubala, as Gagan said already. So I'm an academic clinician, so I work at the University of Leeds, and I'm a consultant physician in sport and exercise medicine. So I live in York, which is North England, and I'm currently the chair of education for BASM, so it's our British Association of Sport and Exercise Medicine. So what I thought I'd do in terms of the UK training programme, careers and training programmes can vary and can be similar. So I thought I'd show you what I do in terms of my day job to give you an idea of landscape, and then I'll talk you through our programs and our direction of travel as an organisation. So in terms of an introduction, sport and exercise medicine in the UK works across team care, across MSK and across exercise medicine. So I enjoy the variety, and that's probably why I chose sport and exercise medicine as a career. So you can see here my variety is fairly broad. So for team, I work as the Chief Medical Officer across rugby league, basketball and volleyball. And I am the Senior Medical Advisor for ECB, so England Cricket as well. So those are my sport-related jobs. They're all part-time, and they are a mixture of team physician work and senior leadership work. So that's our team, so more medical governance. MSK in the UK, the majority of our clinicians work in musculoskeletal medicine, and our consultants, our specialists, work either for the military or NHS, our National Health Service, or they work privately. So I work for the military for a day a week, and then I work privately for a day a week as well. So it's a clinic that I've set up with colleagues. So we have about 12 clinicians in our clinic, a mixture of doctors, physiotherapists, and one of our doctors is also a radiologist as well. And then finally, exercise medicine is the bit that we try to do in our speciality. It's very important to us. And a lot of that tends to be more charity related education work. And I'll talk you through some of these projects. But I advise a charity called the Active Pregnancy Foundation. So again, do have a look. So it's about getting women active in the perinatal phase. which is a big issue in the UK, definitely, and worldwide in terms of inactivity levels. And we know the health that can have on the fetus. And I also have, for the last 10 years, led an educational program called the Physical Activity Clinical Champions, which is a government funded education project. And I'll talk you through that later. And academically, as I said, I'm at the University of Leeds, and a lot of our education is around sport and exercise medicine research. So I do both concussion research, and then on the other extreme, I do medical education development research. So again, I hope there's some alignment with your organizations and something we can have a look at as well. In terms of why I'm doing the talk today, as well as being chair of education for BASM, I'm a training program director. So I look after our registrars in our Yorkshire region. And I'm the curriculum lead along with Ralph Smith, who's my colleague. We are the curriculum leads nationally for sports medicine. So what I hope to kind of talk to you about today really is the specialty in the UK, where we are going, where we've come from, and it'd be nice to hear about your own. I know I've spoken to Upul at length about the Sri Lankan program. Talk you through a little bit about what our registrars will do in training and how that looks. Then talk you through extended roles. So we don't just have consultants, we have people who want to do sport and exercise medicine, but they don't want to be a specialist. So they might be GPs or other backgrounds, emergency medicine. So we have a specialist interest or extended role option for those who don't want to be consultants as well. So I'll talk you through some of those educational elements as well. So firstly, more sport and exercise medicine in the UK as a speciality has an interesting history. It's been around for a long time, well before 1952, but it was people generally in sport, in team care, doing it as a voluntary role. So they were doctors really volunteering because they enjoyed sport. This wasn't a paid role. The governance was very broad and very variable. In 1952, the British Association of Sport and Exercise Medicine was set up. So this is a multidisciplinary group. So doctors, physios, physiologists, but doctors making the majority of that group. So that was BASM, so British Association of Sport and Exercise Medicine. So that started in 1952. Of note, in 1964, BASM created what was called the BASM Bulletin. So this was a journal that it launched to try and disseminate research, because it felt that research at the time was limited and there wasn't any way of getting it out there. So this journal in the late 60s, early 70s rebranded and became the British Journal of Sports Medicine. BASM sold this to the BMJ, so British Medical Journal Group. So now BASM co-owns the BJSM and the BMJ Open SEM with the BMJ. And it is an important source of income for BASM, a source of stability, but also a great way for our members and partner associations to disseminate research. And I hope you'll agree it is known as the highest ranking journal in the world at the moment for sports medicine. So it's come a long way since it was a newsletter bulletin in 1964. But where are we going next as the British Association of Sport and Exercise Medicine? Well, we have two parts to our sports medicine offering. So we have the association. So BASM is for a membership organization. It's an MDT membership organization, predominantly doctors, but a broad group and at any level. And the primary aim of BASM is education and to support its members, and it's a charity. The Faculty of Sport and Exercise Medicine was created much later. So it was actually created in 2006. And this was because initially we were a special interest group. So doctors did this as a subspecialty. And then in 2005, the government approved sport and exercise medicine as a specialist full medical speciality. This was done off the back of the Olympics. So lots of politics involved in a right time, right place. But London 2012 was coming. We needed more team physicians. We needed a higher quality level of training, and it was an opportune time to apply and get formal status. So we're a medical specialty in the UK, like any other physician specialty, from cardiology, respiratory, so on. Our programs and pathways, everything is similar in structure and process. So Faculty of Sport and Exercise Medicine was a doctors only group set up in 2005 because of the need to set the standards for sports medicine training, oversee research, training and curriculum of all the SEM doctors. So that's what the Faculty of Sport and Exercise Medicine is. So BASM and faculty work closely together, but we have had a membership vote. Both organisations will be dissolving, so coming to a close, and we'll be creating a new College of Sport and Exercise Medicine. We're hoping to get this finished by April, May time next year. So this will be the functions of BASM and the functions of the Faculty of Sport and Exercise Medicine all under one roof with one united voice, which in a small specialty like ours is really important. We want one strong voice that can influence government, influence healthcare, and try and improve the positioning of sport and exercise medicine. So if you are interested, for those of you who are heavily involved in your education arms, this is our UK copy. So the curriculum guides, that QR code will take you to our official sport and exercise medicine curriculum. We're on our second version of the curriculum now. And the gold guide, if you're also interested, is also through that link. The gold guide is essentially the guide as to how postgraduate medical training occurs in the UK. So all our higher specialist training has to align with the gold guide. So competencies, ways of being assessed, how you're signed off each year, all of those things are done by the gold guide. But to give you an idea, so in the UK, we have regions around the UK that provide training. So Yorkshire provides trainings up north. We've got Manchester, so northwest. We've got the Midlands, so Birmingham area. We've got Oxford. We've got London. And I should have not forgotten, we've also got Scotland recently. So all these areas will have a number of registrars all rotating through sport and exercise medicine training through the National Health Service predominantly, so through the public hospitals. So here's an overview to our training program. For India, you'll have to explain to me how yours works. I think this aligns not that dissimilarly to Sri Lankan training. So we do 5 to 6 years medical school. After that, we do what's called foundation training. You can go anywhere in the country. It gets given to you. And you will do 2 years of broad training. So you'll do general medicine, general surgery, A&E, general practice. It can be a mixture of training. After those 2 years, you have assessments, so work-based assessments that you'll need to do. And once you've done those and your supervisor happy, you'll get signed off, and that's your 2 years of foundation training. After that, you can then apply for training. So you can decide to do internal medical training or physician training, which is 2 to 3 years, depending on which one you choose. You can do general practice training, so family medicine, which is 3 years, or you can choose ACCS, so acute care common STEM, which is your kind of acute groups. So internal medicine, emergency medicine, anesthetics all come under those umbrellas. So you apply competitively to get into one of these specialties. If you get in, you then complete 3 years of training, and sometimes 2 if it's physician training. You have to complete their exams, so it'll be MRCP, MRCGP, or MChem. And if you've completed that successfully, and you can then apply for sport and exercise medicine training. So any of those 3 pathways will get you onto sport and exercise medicine training. And then it's a 4-year training program full time in sport and exercise medicine. I'll talk you through the rotation shortly. Again, there's workplace based assessments. There is an exam to take and an OSCE to take. All of these things need to be done as well as meeting the curriculum in order to be signed off. If you pass all of those things, you enter our UK General Medical Council, so GMC Specialist Register, where a specialist in any medical specialty has to be registered. We then have appraisals every year where we meet our appraiser, so usually another doctor from the same specialty, to prove we're staying up to date, our CPD, research, audits, all of the things we need to do to stay up to date. And that's the same for every specialty. Cool. So that's training. So to give you just a little bit of that detail and to probably color your journey with my own experience, if we take the postgraduate program, so I did university in York, and then F1 and F2 I did in a place called Scarborough, and then in a place called Hull. I did what was called academic foundation training, which meant 30% of my time was doing research and teaching. And the NHS program also paid for my medical education qualifications as well, which is very nice. So that's how I got interested in education, alongside working in a foundation doctor role. I applied for GP training. I believe some of you met Mike Loosemore. I believe he came to last Sri Lankan conference. So I actually spoke to, when you speak to people, you have to decide how are you going to choose one of these routes. And I actually spoke to Mike Loosemore, who was a consultant in London at the time, and he recommended general practice training. And I agree, if you want to be a team physician, if you want to finish training, because the others, you don't finish training, it's a halfway house, you then have to apply for more training, then GP or family medicine is the best option. With ACCS, so if you want to do emergency medicine or anesthetics, after 3 years, you need to then apply for 4 years, 3 to 4 years of anesthetics or emergency medicine training. If you're a physician specialty, so IMT or CMT for 2, you would need to continue and apply for cardiology or respiratory. So GP was the only option where I finished training fully as well. So I did GP first. So I did 18 months in a hospital, which was A&E, emergency medicine. I did Max Fax and ENT training, and then I did general medicine stroke, and then I did 18 months in general practice. Following the exams, finished training, applied for sports medicine training. My year, there were about 9 numbers in the country. So competition's high. The competition's even higher now. We get between 6 and 12 numbers a year, depending on how many people finish and how many people start. But the competition now is fairly significant. To get onto training is rather competitive, and you have to do an application to shortlist, which I'll come back to, and then you have an interview process. In terms of the application to shortlist, you get points for different things. So commitment to specialty, showing you've worked in the specialty, you have experience, gets you points. Publications, so being a first author on an original piece of research, gets you a full set of points. So publishing. An international poster presentation will give you lots of points. Doing a quality improvement project in the specialty will give you points. Doing an educational, having a master's or a PhD will get you points. Doing education will get you points, so a teaching qualification. All of these different things matter. So as happens with competition, the doctors try and get as many points as possible, because otherwise they won't get shortlisted for interview. And then interviews, 3 stations. We have about you as a person and your interest in the specialty. We have a clinical scenario, and we have an ethical scenario as well. They used to be done face-to-face. They're now done online since COVID as well. So once you've done that, you get onto the specialty training. You will have an educational supervisor who will look after you over the next 4 years in terms of reviewing your portfolio. It's an electronic portfolio where you log all your evidence of training. They will meet you on a regular basis. Your training program director, which is my role, sits above the educational supervisor. They are there more to oversee and lead the program in that region. And then you'll have clinical supervisors as you rotate around as well. So generally 3 people: clinical supervisor, educational supervisor, and a training program director. In terms of the pathway itself, you can see here, these are some of the rotations we'll do over the 4 years. So you'll see there's general practice, emergency medicine, public health. You can read that here. They're generally between 3 and 6 month rotations in each of the areas. And depending on the doctor's background, there'll be slightly more or slightly less. There's so in Yorkshire, we also have an academic component. So our registrars also become lecturers at the University of Leeds, and they support us, and they do some research as well. So we do that alongside this too. So hopefully you can see there. Our main thing though really is musculoskeletal clinic. So 1 day a week, roughly, for all 4 years, you will be in a musculoskeletal clinic, running it, seeing patients. Elite sport used to be a lot of training, or a bigger part. It's now 6 months is all we expect in elite sport. So we're shifting away from elite sport and more towards musculoskeletal medicine as our primary driver. But most registrars working in sport and exercise medicine, they will also have extra jobs on the side. So they'll work for other teams. So very common for our registrars to work in Premier League football clubs, in cricket clubs, and so on. So in a range of professional sport. And I did the same. I worked for England football, Welsh football, and you'll see this one to give you that away. Hopefully you can spot me. I'm the the Tamil Sri Lankan on the left, very obvious to see with the rest of the height. So this is GB basketball. So one of my first elite sport jobs. So I did this as an additional job alongside training, for example. So that would be very common in our groups to also do that on the side. So in terms of our General Medical Council training, we have generic professional capabilities. So this doesn't matter what specialty you are, you have to meet these 6 things. So everyone needs to know health promotion, illness prevention. Leadership for a consultant is important because we are expected to lead our teams on finishing. Patient safety, safeguarding, being able to educate and train and research are all key domains. So whether you do cardiology, sports medicine, respiratory, these would be some of the competencies that need signing off during specialist training. Then each of the specialist programs also has a speciality CIP. So these are capabilities that the registrar on finishing must have. So we want our consultants or new consultants to be able to lead a multidisciplinary team. In the UK, we have a very MDT approach. So we want to ensure and we feel that the doctor consultant should be able to lead that team. We want our doctors to be able to develop services, so not just join a service and work in it. We want them to create and develop services. So innovation is important in our specialty. We want them to deliver services both in the hospital and in the community, and also in exercise medicine. So you can see those 4 capabilities there. And for each capability, as you go through training, you have different levels that you say a doctor or the registrar is. So level 1 means that they can't do it yet, but they can observe it. Level 2 means they can do it, but under direct supervision. 3, indirect supervision. And 4, they're fully trusted to act unsupervised. So by the time they get to consultant, they should be at level 4. Otherwise, they won't get signed off to finish training. Okay, every year we have what's called an annual appraisal. So our ARCP, every year the registrar's portfolios with all their evidence, all their feedback, all their results for training are reviewed by a panel. And then it's decided, can you move on to the next year? So we go ST3, so specialist training year 3, 4, 5, and 6. Every year at the end of the year, a panel decides whether they can progress to the next year or not. And so some years require them to have completed their exams. Other times it's about doing the work for that curriculum. Other things that we have in the UK that you might be interested in and might align with yours. These are some of the things I did. So we have an NHS, so our Public Health Service has a clinical entrepreneur program. So we teach our doctors business skills, but all healthcare professionals. So you have to apply for the program. It's competitive. Think of it like a mini MBA for healthcare. So I did that nearly 10 years ago now. So we would have IBM turn up, Google turn up, a range of different people to try and teach you business, which was really important because there aren't that many jobs in sports medicine in the public sector for us. So private and clinic is important. And so using some of that knowledge, I created a clinic in York called ISSEM Clinic. So we have a range of clinicians there who run this service for us, a mixture of doctors, physios, and so on. I'm still part of our Royal College of GPs, so I'm a fellow there. We still do a lot of sports medicine work with them. For 5 years, I ran a program called the Physical Activity and Lifestyle Project with 2 other colleagues. So we created active practice. We encourage practice to become more active, push physical activity to their patients. So we created a point system for them to get a charter and be acknowledged as an active practice. We created a partnership with Park Run, if you've come across Park Run. So it's a free 5K all around the world, normally done on a weekend. You turn up, it's all run by volunteers, and it's to really try to increase physical activity. In the UK, it's really popular. You can go to nearly any town and find a Park Run. So again, something you might want to have a look into. So again, we created a partnership with Park Run called a Park Run practice so that GP practices could encourage their patients to go to their local Park Run. And then finally, this is one of our other projects. So Physical Activity Clinical Champions, all our registrars take part in this as well, as do many of the other SEM physicians. This is a over 10-year project now. So I'm the lead doctor on the project, and we have a lead nurse and a physio. we provide education to all healthcare professionals in physical activity and preventative medicine, with the view that we know that 1 in 4 patients are more likely to be active if given advice by a healthcare professional. And we know that there is, in the UK anyway, there's a lack of knowledge around physical activity and preventative medicine and how to actually do it on the ground and change behaviour, because it's not taught at university. So there's a big government funded project that the Faculty of Sport and Exercise Medicine now run as well, to deliver this message. So if you're interested, happy to share the resources, how we operate and how we work, to see if you're interested. But it's been a big success of sport and exercise medicine for us. So finally, my last kind of section was to talk to you about extended roles. So we have specialist training, which we've talked about. So roughly 14 years after you start medical school, if you want to, you've become a specialist or a consultant and you enter a specialist register. But let's say you're a GP or you're an A&E doctor or some other type of doctor who just wants to do it for interest. You just like a bit of sports medicine. You want to see a few musculoskeletal patients. You want to maybe just work for a local team on the weekend. Then you don't have to become a specialist in the UK. And we don't have enough specialist consultants to manage all the teams that need it anyway. So extended roles are quite important for us. So the Faculty of Sport and Exercise Medicine has 3 diploma exams now instead. So this is not for our specialist registrars. Our specialist registrars take a Part 1 exam and an OSCE Part 2 exam, which is aimed only at our specialist registrars now. So the exam has changed. It's probably become harder and it's now almost more of an exit exam for the speciality. These exams are knowledge exams. You do them online. So like a computer driving test style approach, but you do it at home online. And we have them in MSK medicine, team care, and in exercise medicine. And it's an MDT exams. These are aimed at, in the UK, for doctors and physios. These are for people just wanting to do it with an interest. And it's definitely grown the size of our organization, but most importantly for us, increase the standards of people that are just doing little bits of hobbying, I guess, interest work on the side. In terms of creating a syllabus, we try to do things as academically as possible. So for our team care exam, the University of Leeds, so I led the development of our postgraduate syllabus in team care. Adil, top left, who's a first author, is one of my master's students. So we created a 2-round Delphi to create 434 learning outcomes with nearly 50 experts in the panel, to create a consensus we thought we were happy with. So this is now our syllabus and the syllabus that our team care exam is built on. So again, if you're interested, the QR code will take you to that paper. So that's published in the BOSM as well. So we are now trying to do this for the female athlete at the moment. And hopefully, I hope we might be able to work on a project between the 3 organizations. At the moment, the University of Leeds and BASM, we are looking at comparing syllabuses and curriculums of specialist training programs all around the world to understand similarities, differences, to look at alignment, to see how countries around the world could align and work better together. So again, love to chat to you guys about that if there's appetite to do that. In terms of the MSc, lots of doctors will get a master's in sport and exercise medicine. So the QR code is to our University of Leeds one. And we have national and international students that come to take our course. And there are a number of courses around the UK that do a master's. So most doctors and registrars before they apply will normally have a master's, so formal taught training. Ours is with our medical school. So we start cadaveric dissections. We do point of care ultrasound, moving to examination. We do placements with them. And then we get a mixture of surgeons, SEM clinicians and physios as well, for everything from rehab to surgery at one extreme. So we've been going for nearly 10 years now, and appears to be quite good. A lot of our students now work in Premier League clubs and a range of other professional sports. So they come back and teach as well, which is nice. The other thing we have in the UK is a pitchside course. So our pitchside courses, there are 3 or 4 big pitchside courses. So this is our Rugby Football League course. They're 2 days. They're endorsed by the Royal College of Surgeons. And whatever sport you work in the UK, you need one of the main 3 or 4 courses. This one's called IMOF. 2-day course, very similar to ALS, but for pre-hospital. And we have to validate it every 3 years and do a refresher every year. But it has improved the quality of our education. It has reduced the issues that can occur when things go wrong in sport. And there's definitely been a big bonus. So we run this Royal College of Surgeons approved course that we write and deliver. So I teach on ours for rugby league. And again, I would say we've been working with countries to support them in creating their own specific sport one. I think there's definitely mileage and importance in that. And again, I don't know what you guys have, and different countries do it very differently. BASM, if you are a member of BASM, and I know some of you are, the British Association of Sport and Exercise Medicine, we have a range of e-learning there. We also have the Australians SEM Academy e-learning in there as well, just to support our registrars and early career doctors. So finally, just to say, we're at an interesting point in time. Sports medicine's definitely evolving and developing here. We're merging into one college, and we will go for Royal College status in due course. That'll be next year, that will hopefully get college status. But doctors in sport and exercise medicine in the UK can either enter higher specialist training, so HST, and do specialist training as we've discussed, or they can do higher specialist training and just learn by themselves, create a portfolio, do it as an interest. But you can also do it informally, so you can learn over a long period of time, map it to our curriculum, and apply by portfolio route for specialist register. So we call it by portfolio route instead. So there are 2 ways you can do that. Okay. So I guess finally, just to say, I hope this has been interesting. I always like the Steve Jobs quote, and when I think Prof. Dobson and Dr. Upal asked me to speak, I was delighted to join you. I think the more people we meet, the more we learn, the more we connect, and the more interesting projects and exciting things we can all do together. So I'm a believer in starting to connect lots of dots up and see where it takes us. So thank you very much for your time. And I hope that was helpful to show you how things work on this side. Thank you. I'm not sure if Gagan is back on.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dane, for this wonderful talk on sports medicine training program curriculum development. And I think we have a couple of questions from Dr. Ashay, sports medicine expert from India. So we can take up any questions. If somebody has, we can take a couple of questions. So Dr. Ashay has asked one question. Can you hear me, Dr. Dane?
I can hear you, yeah. Is it in the chat?
Yeah.
Sorry. Perfect.
Yeah, it's in the chat box.
Do you want me to read it out? Okay, so yeah, I can see it. So how does, so tell me if I got the right, how does a sports medicine specialist in India get on the specialist register of SEM in the UK? I've completed PLAB exams and a GMC registered. Yes, if you're GMC registered, so you have a full license to practice, then it depends on your training. So if you have sports medicine specialist training in India, then in theory, it's about mapping it across to our competencies, and you can apply via portfolio. The challenge, and I think this is the bit I don't know, is how different our curriculums are as to what you'll need to do. So happy to have a chat. And I think the QR code I've sent you, you can see our UK curriculum. So first thing to do would be to look at that and see how different it is to yours. And then to apply in the UK, if you were going to do it by portfolio route, you need to have evidence of all of that training, from how long you spent, who you spent it with, any assessments. So you'd need to build a portfolio of evidence. So I hope that's helpful.
One more question is there, Dr. Ashay. If you see a little down, one more question is there.
I can see a Sudipta.
Is there a way that all diploma sports medicine doctors in India get on specialist through some competency-based exam in UK?
Gagan, is that the one I already answered? So I've answered the Dr. Ashay's entering the UK in competency. Yeah, so there's no competency-based exam only. So you would if you're applying for the portfolio route, you need to prove that your experience matches, and then you would need to take the UK exams as well, usually. So yeah, and happy to discuss that with Dr. Ashe if it's very specific to his case as well, if that's helpful. Do you want me to take Dr. Sudeep Sakar's question? Completed MRC, so from Bangladesh, completed MRC Part 1 and 2, waiting for PACES, have a Master's in Sports Medicine from Northern Ireland, wanting to make a career in rheumatology as a clinical academic. Okay. Yeah. So again, if you get GMC registered, which is through PLAB or another route, once you're on it, in the UK, you can apply for training like anyone else. So if you want to apply for rheumatology training, then you would look at the point score. All of the specialties are very similar. Publishing, quality improvement projects, international posters, all of those things will give you points and masters. That will help you to get shortlisted for application. Okay. And then to answer the other question, BASM's 3 diploma exams, if you pass all 3, gives you membership. Fellowship is only for those on the specialist register. So I hope that's helpful. So whether you do BASM, so yes, you might, if you do the 3 faculty exams, that would give you membership to the Faculty of Sport and Exercise Medicine and also the new college.
That's all about the questions, I guess. We are done with the questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Dane, for your time. We are extremely grateful to you for giving us so much time and taking out time from your busy schedule and taking a webinar for us. We are so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Dr.
asking me. Thank you.
Yeah, now we move ahead to our next segment, that is the signing of Memorandum of Understanding with the Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association. We have for academic cooperation, research and professional development with Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Department. We have our President, Dr. Dobson Dominic. So I invite Dr. Dobson Dominic to have a couple of minutes and talk about it now. Please, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Gagan. At the outset, greetings from Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine. First, I would like to thank Professor Dane Vishnubala for the wonderful exposure he has given to the UK curriculum and of sports and exercise medicine, and also the different pathways which is available for anyone trying to explore sports and exercise medicine in UK. Now, today is a very important occasion for Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine and also our friendly neighbors from Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association. So ISSEM was, this is going to be around 6 years now. We started in July 2019, and it has been a wonderful journey. We started with a small group of sports and exercise medicine doctors. Now we have grown to close to 200 members and almost 100 sports and exercise medicine doctors in India. Through this journey, we have been able to complete 2 international conferences, one in Chennai and one in Varanasi. So ISSEM had the privilege of having international speakers, and we are, as a process of more international collaborations, we are doing important Memorandum of Understanding with Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association. I'd like to thank especially Dr. Upul Madhupala, our wonderful friend and president from Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association, Dr. Rankana, and all the other sports medicine colleagues from Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association for this wonderful opportunity. So this MoU will help in strengthening sports and exercise medicine and also sports science collaboration both in India and Sri Lanka. We will focus on a continuous professional development, both in terms of academics, research, conferences, and also several other collaborative efforts. If you recall, ISSEM recently had also the opportunity where ISSEM has been enrolled in ICSES, which is an International Confederation of Sports and Exercise Sciences, which is primarily for development of sports and exercise sciences. So ISSEM has been on the process of several international collaborations, and this is an important MoU where we plan to take it in a big way. So also I'd like to thank the Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine founding members, Dr. Barun, Dr. Gagan, Dr. Kiran Kulkarni, and also our seniors, especially Dr. Ashok Ahuja sir is there, Dr. Colonel Anup Krishan sir is there. All of our seniors have been able to guide us in the right direction, and I'm sure that ISSEM and SLSMA will be able to make this a fruitful collaboration. I will also conclude with the announcement, a happy announcement that our third international conference of ISSEM 3 is confirmed, and it's going to be held in New Delhi, Indian capital, in 2026 March end. The dates will be announced, and I expect fruitful collaboration in this with Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association, and hopefully BSEM also with Professor Dane Vishnubala. I'm hopeful that BSEM members can also fruitfully collaborate. Thank you all for gracing this happy occasion for both the societies. And Dr. Gagan, you can take it from here. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for kind words. Now I invite Dr. Rupul Madhapola, President, Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association, to have some words, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, Gagan. Can you hear me?
Sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Guest speaker, Prof. Dane Vishnubala, President and the members of Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine. So members of the Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association, respected colleagues and honored guest. Today makes a very special day for us. We are gathered here to witness a truly historic movement, the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between our two societies. This is not just another formal ceremony. It is a moment that reflects trust, friendship, and the shared vision for the future of sports medicine in our region. For decades, both Sri Lanka and India have produced exceptional athletes, visionary physicians, and pioneer researchers, always having shared deep cultural, social, and sporting ties. So yet we have always known that our greatest strengths lie in unity. Today we take this relationship one step further by committing ourselves to work together in a structured, meaningful way. So for us, this friendship is deeply exciting. We know the incredible expertise, the research strength, and the clinical excellence of the ISSEM, and joining hands with you open the doors to new ideas, new collaborations, and new opportunities that will benefit not only our professionals, but more importantly, our athletes. So this MOU means more than words on papers. It means shared workshops and training programs. So it means research that cross borders. It means young sports medicine professionals from both countries learning from each other to growing together. So it means creating a safer and stronger environment for every athlete, from the child taking their first step into the sports to the elite performer on the global stage. We, the Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association, are truly honored to establish this strong collaboration, benefiting not only the present but the future of sports and exercise medicine in South Asia. To me, we make today truly historic is the spirit behind it. We are building something much bigger than ourselves, something future generations of sports medicine professionals will benefit from. So on behalf of Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association, I want to express my heartfelt appreciation to the Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine. Thank you for your openness, your generosity, and your willingness to work with us. We deeply value this partnership and we are committed to make it flourish. Let us look forward to a future filled with shared success, shared learning, and shared pride. Thank you, and may this historic day make the beginning of the long and meaningful journey together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for these encouraging words. Hopefully, this MOU will lead us together and sports medicine will take you to new heights, sir, in India and Sri Lanka. Thank you so much, sir. Now I'll invite Dr. Ashok Ahuja, sir, senior sports medicine expert and our teacher and our guide, Dr. Ashok Ahuja, sir, to deliver a brief talk on sports medicine in India, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Gagan.
Sir.
And Dobson for giving me this opportunity to be here amongst such great experts in the field of sports medicine and exercise medicine. First of all, thank you, Professor Dane, for a very good, insightful into the curriculum planning which is being followed in UK. In South Asia, we have totally different approaches. And so we just can't follow blindly, and we'll have to take the insights out of that and adopt it into this curriculum also. My timeline goes to 1978, which was my first endeavor to Sri Lanka only. After I joined the National Institute of Sports and I was sent by the Ministry of, rather actually at that time there was only a Department of Sports, Government of India, to Sri Lanka for physical education and sports medicine. That was way back in 1978. Taking the lead, I am very happy that I was instrumental in starting a curriculum in sports medicine for medical doctors alone, started in 1983. And I know we have not been able to fulfill all the ambitions that I had it, but to some extent, at least a specialty was created in the country. And now I am more happy that it is a very, very big specialty. Sports medicine has become a super specialty, I'll call it. It requires an inputs from so many specialties since it has become a performance oriented. I will just give two pieces of advice, giving my experience in the field of sports medicine curriculums or so. Since I see in South Asia or even in Southeast Asia also, the lack lies in the applied and the practical aspects of the training. When we talk of a sports physician, he needs to have a complete care of an athlete. That means he must have a complete knowledge of physiology, biochemistry, nutrition, ergogenic aids, morphology, anthropometry, theory and methodics of training, sports psychology, biomechanics. It's a multi-speciality approach which needs to be having. I see, and I always give a remark at every forum, that when we are talking of sports medicine and exercise medicine, please ensure that there is a practical training given to the students who have taken up this specialty, and that is cannot be given alone from the hospitals. Courses alone in a hospital shall not give it unless there is a collaboration between the sports and the medicine. The world itself is exercise medicine. So unless we don't see the sports people in their training grounds, in their gyms, at whatever places that they are doing their training and seeing them day in and day out is the ultimate thing. After all, care is one thing, but performance medicine is the one that we look for, keeping in view, and especially in our country now that we are done a major breakthrough in the sports, you see, with Commonwealth Games again coming up to us, already allotted, and 2036 Olympics on this thing. So practical applied training must be included in every curriculum or so. That will be my advice. And then only we shall be able to make it also. Plus, of course, the sciences also. Lastly, I will just, that's in view of this memorandum, which is exemplary, and I must congratulate the ISSM leadership, especially Dr. Dobson, Dr. Barun, Dr. Gagan, Kiran, all who have been working on this, you see, to not only to take it as a specialty, but also try to push the curriculum of a smaller level at the undergraduate level also. At our MBBS level, we do not have this. I tried my best, but somehow it could not. But now I think the time has come where we must give a small basic education on sports and exercise medicine at the undergraduate level. With this, I say all the best to both the Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association and the ISSEM who have followed it up also. And I'm sure it is going to deliver a good number of experts who are going to take care of our elite sports persons. Not only that, even recreational sports people and geriatric patients also over there. All the best and have a fruitful discussions more on that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for us. We are so grateful always to you to have time and talk to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Now I invite Professor Dr. Rohan Jayasekara, sir, a senior member and a pioneer in establishing Sri Lankan Sportsmen Association. He is in the Vidya Jyoti Emeritus Professor of Anatomy, Genetics and Biomedical Informatics, Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. So we welcome you, sir. Please give us some insight on sports medicine in Sri Lanka and this memorandum, sir.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, colleagues. Thank you for inviting me to say a few words on this very auspicious occasion where we celebrate the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine and the Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association. It is truly a privilege to address this distinguished gathering of sports and exercise medicine professionals from India and Sri Lanka on this virtual platform. It is my pleasant duty to congratulate both presidents of the respective organizations and express my most sincere appreciation to our dynamic president of our Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association, Dr. Upul Madhapola, for his foresight and pioneering efforts to develop this collaboration with our closest neighbor, India, and with Professor Dobson at the helm on the other side of the Pork Strait. I'm here today as a senior member representing the Sports and Exercise Medicine Fraternity of Sri Lanka. In fact, to give you an idea of my seniority, I would like to say that I was born 3 years before DipSEM was born. So you can make a rough calculation there. To those of you who may not be aware of the history of the Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association, which I will refer to as SLSMA, as we fondly call that, I would like to take a few minutes to enlighten you on this aspect of our past. The seed for the specialty of sport and exercise medicine was planted 40 years ago in 1985, when Major General Dr. C. Tureraja, the father of sports medicine in Sri Lanka, pioneered and initiated the process with a core group of professionals. It is with humility that I say that I was fortunate to be one of them. From then on, the process simply picked up speed and evolved to what it is today. And I must say that at present, thanks to a group of young, enthusiastic, and energized sports professionals, led by the president, of course, it is now developing further with visible results. Getting back to its history in 1990, the Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association was officially launched then, and in 1992, 2 years later, it was affiliated to the Asian Federation of Sports Medicine, the AFSM. This was followed in 1994 by the affiliation of the SLSMA to FIMS, the International Federation of Sports Medicine. Having been recognized as the National Sports Medicine Association of Sri Lanka, it then had a new infusion of academic recognition when in 2006, a board of study in sports medicine was established in the Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, or the PGIM, in Colombo, the only institute in Sri Lanka responsible for postgraduate training and the award of degrees in all specialties of medicine. I was once again privileged to be appointed as its founder chairperson. This subsequently led to the launch of the Diploma in Sports Medicine in 2005, which to date has produced 120 diplomates practicing the specialty in the country and overseas. The jewel in the crown, of course, was the establishment of the MD training program in sport and exercise medicine in 2016, 9 years ago, and this has resulted in the successful graduation of 31 specialists who are presently being board certified and appointed as consultants in sport and exercise medicine in the major hospitals in the country, which includes our president. These consultants now need continuous professional development in the form of acquisition of the latest clinical knowledge and skills, of course, in the specialty and in aspects of research, where strong collaborations will greatly enhance the quality of service provided to sportsmen and women in the region. Our two nations share more than geographic proximity. We share deep-rooted genetic ties. Population genetic studies, including work published by my own group, have consistently demonstrated that Sri Lankan major ethnic groups and Indian populations possess a substantial overlap in their genetic variations. This shared genomic heritage naturally extends to sports persons within these populations, influencing their anatomical structures, physiological responses, and functional capacities. Because of these common genetic foundations, we observe parallel patterns in the incidence of sports-related injuries across both countries. Whether in endurance sports, contact disciplines, or high-intensity events, similarities emerge in vulnerability to specific injuries, responsiveness to treatment, and pathways of rehabilitation. These shared tendencies make collaborative research not only meaningful, but also scientifically robust. In this context, the Memorandum of Understanding between the Indian and Sri Lankan flag bearers of sports and exercise medicine is a progressive and timely development. It sets the stage for comparative studies, harmonized treatment strategies, and shared best practices, marking a new and more relevant direction compared to previous collaborations primarily oriented towards Western associations. I'm confident that this MoU will certainly play a pivotal role in the mutual exchange of knowledge and growth of the field of sport and exercise medicine in our part of the world. In conclusion, I wish this newly formed bond every success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the encouraging talk, sir. hopefully you will be there, sir, for us to support in this MOU and furthermore in upcoming years, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now I will invite our General Secretary, Dr. Anjum Varun Sharma, to have a brief talk on this MOU. Dr. Varun.
Hello.
We can hear you, Dr. Varun.
Okay. So let me check. Yeah. So can you hear me? So thank you very much for this moment. First of all, I just want to express, my gratitude to Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association and all the officers of Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association, and also to Professor Dane, the Vishnubala. Such an excellent talk. It was brief and highly impactful. So the importance of high quality training and curriculum development in sports and exercise medicine in UK is highlights which we can learn in our country. Our country, although sports medicine, the formal course, postgraduate course in sports medicine was started in 1986, around 1986. But still, we are at budding stage only, and MD in sports medicine was started around 2010. In India. So a curriculum development to similar to your country and other country like Australia. I can see Dr. Brikam, the Karmakar is also there among the participants. He is sports and exercise medicine specialist there in Australia. So we have to learn lots of things from you, and future the collaboration is the expected. And this memorandum of understanding between Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine and Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association is very important, because like Professor Rohan sir has already explained how much similar we are. Although we are from different country, but we are very close, and from genetic ties to everything, we are very much similar. We are similar not only in the level of physical inactivity, which is prevalent, which become the pandemic, and the South Asian phenotype which we are having, with all the metabolic prevalence of disease, and also the increasing risks of sports and exercise associated illness and injury, and also the doping problem. The potential, although we have a huge population is there, but translating that potential into actual reality is lacking. So we require a collaboration, and this collaboration will be very successful in the future. So this MOU basically reflects our shared commitment to the advancing of sports and exercise medicine in particular, and sports and exercise science in general. And through this collaboration, we aim to promote, a joint research, professional training, clinical exchange idea, scientific knowledge enhancement, skill exchange, and stronger regional tie is required in our upcoming, different the academic program, as also our conferences and others. So this is very important, and this is not important not only for a sports player, but also for general public, where the application of sports and exercise medicine as a form of positive lifestyle intervention is very much important in order to target different non-academic, non-communicable diseases. So on behalf of Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine, I express my sincere appreciation to Sports Medicine, Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association, for embracing this partnership, and together we look forward to a future of mutual learning, innovation, and regional excellence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Varun, for this talk. Grateful. We are so grateful to you. Now I'll invite Dr. Rangana Hettage from Sri Lanka, that is the Secretary of Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association, to just briefly talk about this MOU and sports medicine. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Gagan. And please excuse me, surroundings are little bit noisy because I am still working at my hospital premises. And I would like to thank Prof. Dane Vishnubala and our teacher, Emeritus Professor Professor Rohan Jayasekara, sir. It's very welcome to see you, sir. And also Dr. Ashok Ahuja from India. And also, I would like to thank our honored president, Dr. Pul Madahapola, and our executive committee in Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association. And also, I would like, I also like to thank Professor Dobson Dominic, President of Indian Society of Sport and Exercise Medicine, and his dynamic team. And it's very good evening to everyone. It is my great privilege and duty as the Secretary of Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association to propose a heartfelt vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to the Indian Society of Sport and Exercise Medicine, your willingness to collaborate and your shared vision for advocacy in sport medicine in our region. And this MoU is possible. We also truly inspired your work, and you are excited about prospects about this partnership that we are holding for a number of years. And also, I would like to thank Dr. Pul Madahapola and our Executive Committee of Sri Lanka Sports Medicine Association for your unwavering leadership and your instinct on starting this project sometimes back to make the Sri Lankan brand in sports medicine from local arena to the international level. And also, a special word of thanks must go to our negotiating team in the Institute of Sports and Exercise Medicine in India and the Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association to make this event success and make the MoU meaningful. And also, this MoU is not merely a document, it is a bridge that always will facilitate exchange our knowledge, research, and best practices between our two great nations, and prominently to target the more Olympic medals into the South Asian region, leaving Europe and the American come up to the European and the American level. In conclusion, on behalf of the Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association, I thank each and everyone who contributed to this idea and make this MoU successful. And let us make forward with this great opportunity and the spirit of collaboration and the shared success. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rangana, sir, for taking out time from your busy schedule and having a discussion with us. Thank you so much, sir. Now we invite our Vice President, our dear Senior Dr. Kiran Kumar Kulkarni, sir, for giving us a brief on MoU, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Gagan. Good evening to one and all respected Dr. Dobson, President of Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine, Dr. Barun, Secretary, Executive Committee members of ISSEM, my sir and my professor, Dr. Ashok Ahuja, sir, Senior Dr. Rohana, Professor, and equally on the same, Dr. Upala, the President, and Dr. Rangana, Secretary, and of course, Dr. Dane, Vishnubala, who gave a fantastic talk at the beginning. I do hope to have a very long-standing association between our two national associations, Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine and Sri Lankan Association of Sports Medicine, helping each other in terms of exchange of knowledge, research, sports medicine doctor exchange programs, along with goodwill and friendship. ISSEM, being a 6-year-old organization, being a very young professional association in India, is going with is having a good go with almost 2 international conferences and many CME programs, and of course the third one coming in New Delhi next year. And I do hope to have a very good collaboration between our two organizations. I wish both the associations for this very beautiful MoU. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, this will take us to the end of today's webinar. I am grateful to you all, sir, And I wanted to thank especially Dr. Dane sir for taking us time and delivering a talk on sports medicine in UK. This just gave the insight to our sports medicine, especially the budding sports medicine, especially how they can go about the sports medicine and they can practice in UK. Thank you so much for that, sir. Then I am very grateful. We are very grateful to Dr. Upul Madapola, sir, President Sri Lankan Sports Medicine Association, and Professor Dr. Dominic, President of ISSEM, to have this talk and starting to have the MoU. We are very grateful to you, sir, that we are having this MoU today. And then the senior professors from Sri Lanka, Professor Rohan Jayasekara, sir, and Dr. Rangana Hettige, sir, we are grateful to you, sir, to taking out time. Then our General Secretary, Dr. Varun, I'm thankful to him. Dr. Kiran Kulkarni, sir, which are always for us. So we are grateful to you, sir. And also we are grateful to our other seniors present today, like Dr. Ashok Ahuja sir is there, Dr. Anup Krishnan sir is there, and other participants. I'm really grateful to you all that this is the auspicious day and a beginning of sports medicine in India. I must say it is today. So thank you all for joining us today, and hopefully we will have more of these in near future also. And also the announcement what Dr. Dobson Dominic sir has already given is we will have our next conference, that is ISSEM 3 in Safdarjung, New Delhi in March 2026. So hopefully we will see you all there. Dr. Upul sir was already there in the second ISSEM con. Ahuja sir was there in the Varanasi. So we wanted to see you all in March 2026 for our third ISSEM con also. So thank you so much all for having a time and time joining today, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Over to Dr. Dobson Dominic, sir, if you want to say something. You have to unmute yourself, sir. Dr. Dobson Dominic, sir, you have to unmute.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Gagan. Thank you, one and all, and hopefully we'll all meet up very soon in the coming ISSEM Con 3 conference. Thank you.
Thank you all, and
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Bye.